The Vatican says Pope Francis is pleased with the progress made in Christian-Muslim dialogue 6 months after his trip to the United Arab Emirates. In February, the Holy Father made history by becoming the first pope to visit the Arabian Peninsula. In Abu Dhabi, he signed a joint Catholic-Muslim declaration with the Grand Imam of Al-Azhar. He is considered to be, by some Muslims, to be the highest authority in Sunni Islamic thought. Edward Penton, Rome correspondent for EWTN's National Catholic Register, joins us. He traveled with the Holy Father earlier this year on that historic Middle East trip. Edward, first of all, tell us about the trip and what it meant for Muslim-Catholic dialogue.
Well, it was a very historic trip, Wyatt. It was the first trip by a pope to the Arab Peninsula, so it was a very significant and historic event. And it was very important for Catholic-Muslim dialogue in the sense that there was this big human fraternity document that was signed by the chief imam, the Grand Imam of Al-Aqsa University, which is the highest former institute of learning for Sunni Islam, and the Pope. And so it was a very significant event. And of course, with so many Muslims there and the combination with many Christians, it made it a very important event in terms of interreligious dialogue.
How has the United Arab Emirates treated Christians and other religious minorities historically?
Well, actually, one of the better ones in the Middle East, because there's been a lot of immigration there from many Catholics around the world, particularly from parts of Asia, and they've come to do a lot of the work there in terms of construction and other things, also domestic work, and that's helped actually to bring a lot of tolerance to the country, although there continues to be quite a bit of discrimination there, and Catholic citizens, Catholic immigrants there are not given full citizenship, and there's still certain restrictions to religious freedom, but nothing like they are perhaps in neighboring Saudi Arabia.
You made mention earlier about the document that both sides agreed to. The Vatican says that declaration the Pope signed is a powerful sign of peace and hope for the future of humanity. But not all Catholic scholars agree. What exactly does the document say, and why did it generate controversy?
Right, well, the document's all about really encouraging mutual respect and human fraternity, peace between religions, peace between peoples, and this new committee that's been set up in the UAE is aimed to promote that. But there's controversy about this document around one particular phrase which affirms that the diversity of religions is willed by God, and this critics say, very prominent philosophers and theologians say that this is actually a break with biblical and church teaching. And Bishop Athanasius Schneider told in an interview recently with LifeSite News that it was actually a betrayal of the gospel, and that it relativizes the uniqueness of Jesus Christ and the church. So very strong statements against this phrase, but also that there's a call there for a correction of this document.
Very interesting. Well, as I mentioned, you were there covering the Pope's trip in the UAE. What did you learn about the country while you were there?
Well, as I said earlier, Wyatt, it's a very interesting country. It brings a lot of religions together. It's a very much the sort of society I think the Pope wants to use as a kind of showcase for how religions can get along, particularly Islam and Christianity. And it's very much the case there. As I said, actually it's a year of tolerance there that's being marked, and they're very keen to emphasize that the UAE is a place of tolerance. So it's an interesting place, and as I say, it was a very historic visit of the Pope in February this year.
Well, we hope they will continue to keep up that idea of tolerance for all people of all faiths. Edward Penton, Rome correspondent for EWTN's National Catholic Register. Thanks very much, Edward.
Thank you, Wyatt.